What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
They strategized as they moved toward their target.
Moss, focus on search mode and prepare for any surprise attacks.
Understood.
Moss, ever the obedient subordinate, complied without question. Despite sometimes saying unnecessary things and getting into trouble, he had long been Testarosa's second-in-command and knew how to handle himself. Moss's search mode was essentially a kind of barrier. He dispersed fragmented parts of himself into a hemisphere with a 1-kilometer radius. This allowed him to detect surprise attacks from 500 meters away. While this might seem similar to universal perception, it was different. The speed of information transmission was much faster, and Moss's analytical ability was added to respond to enemy attacks. Furthermore, 500 meters was the perfect distance for Testarosa, whose perceptual speed could be increased 1,000,000 times with her skill. Even an attack at the speed of light would leave over a second before impact under Moss's search mode, giving time to react. Of course, it wasn't possible to move at the speed of light, this merely extended perceived time. Nonetheless, Testarosa could handle it. Despite seeming perfect, Moss's search mode had a drawback. Moss was in the most danger as he would take the first hit.
Even if I get hit, I doubt she'll care.
Though compliant, Moss inwardly grumbled. Hinata, observing Moss's ability, understood its nature.
You're still wary of surprise attacks, so, you think all this noise is a distraction?
Testarosa smiled at this observation.
Exactly. We can deduce the enemy's goal since they targeted this conference.
To divide the West or target Rimuru directly. The prime opportunity for them is Hiro Masayuki, now the Emperor of the Eastern Empire, correct?
Testarosa's smile widened at Hinata's immediate response.
As expected, Hinata Dano. Rimuru-sama definitely saw something in you.
The compliment is appreciated. It's obvious to anyone who pays attention.
Not really, but I get it.
Testarosa chuckled, recalling the recent interactions she had with others. She had been under a lot of stress dealing with people who lacked perception. The worst were those who didn't listen and only voiced their opinions for personal gain, making consensus impossible. Some would even declare agreements post-meeting, showcasing the headaches of political negotiations. Testarosa ensured such people knew their place but always wished for less unnecessary trouble. In contrast, her conversation with Hinata was efficient and enjoyable.
That must be exactly what Rimuru-sama intended.
Seems so. There was another incident simultaneously, and Rimuru went there. They must have set up a significant distraction, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Testarosa nodded. It had been prearranged that if Leon appeared, Rimuru would go. Testarosa had known this, but Hinata figured it out independently. Since Hinata had guessed so much, Testarosa provided some details. Hinata, in turn, pointed out some issues. Their exchange was very pleasant.
I had heard she was sharp. I'd love to have her as a subordinate, but Rimuru-sama probably wouldn't agree.
Rimuru allowing Hinata to call him by his name suggested she was special to him. Moreover, he seemed to revert to his true self and enjoy himself around her. Knowing this about Rimuru, Testarosa couldn't help but admire Hinata.
It truly is enviable. However, I'm genuinely pleased that the woman Rimuru-sama respects isn't foolish.
Historically, many nations had been destabilized by women who gained the king's favor. In this regard, Hinata was no threat. Besides, Rimuru and Hinata weren't lovers, so Testarosa might have been overthinking. Surprisingly, many others thought the same, except for the two involved. For now, they needed to understand the enemy's goal. Restoring Demon Lord Leon to his senses and bringing him back was the basic strategy. But, of course, they expected the enemy to be aware of that.
Feldway knew Rimuru-sama brought Velgrin-sama to her senses. So,
from Testarosa's view, Feldway was certainly capable. Despite his flaws, she was sure he had a plan against Rimuru.
We should assume he had a winning strategy when he used Demon Lord Leon as bait to lure Rimuru out.
That's right. Testarosa nodded in agreement. Naturally, Rimuru would have seen this coming. He likely planned well ahead, anticipating Feldway's moves.
Rimuru-sama knew this and still went to rescue Demon Lord Leon.
Testarosa stated with absolute confidence. Hearing this, Hinata tilted her head, concerned.
But maybe the enemy called him because they think they can win. They say Michael has the power of the true dragons. Can Rimuru really beat such a monster?
Hinata's concern was understandable. To Testarosa, it seemed impossible for Rimuru to lose. But without seeing the real enemy, it was a question that couldn't be answered. What if Feldway or Michael awaited Rimuru at his destination?
Well, I'm confident they'll handle it.
Diablo and Soy were with him as bodyguards. She had to trust that Rimuru would be okay. If the enemy's objective was Rimuru, then Hinata and her group didn't have much to worry about. They could rely on him, but the issue would arise if the enemy had a different target.
While aiming for the senators seems logical, it's unlikely.
I concur. There's no substantial benefit in fracturing the Western nations now. If they could defeat Rimuru, they wouldn't bother with uniting the nations.
They both agreed. After evaluating various scenarios, they concluded.
The enemy is after Masayuki.
So, where did the Emperor go?
Hinata inquired. At some point during the chaos, Masayuki had vanished from the capital. Imperial guards likely surrounded the capital, and Velgrind, the Scorch Dragon, was with Masayuki. To her, it seemed Masayuki was the safest among them. That's why she hadn't worried about him, but it was different if he was the enemy's target.
Maybe Velgrind-sama realized the enemy's intention and evacuated him.
Regardless of the enemy's plans, Masayuki's safety was paramount. Testarossa knew Velgrind would have thought the same.
Then we can assume he's safe.
It was better than staying defensive, Hinata agreed. Next, they had to consider their victory conditions.
If Masayuki is the target, we're bait, right? Do you think Masayuki will rescue us if we're about to be killed?
Hinata, who had known Masayuki before, knew he was soft-hearted. However, as an emperor, he should prioritize his own life, and she believed he would remain calm. Testarossa agreed.
That's the critical question. Even if we were close to death, I don't think Masayuki Dano would come to our rescue.
The problem wasn't just Masayuki's. With Velgrind protecting him, it was clear Masayuki should be prioritized. Hinata and Testarossa agreed on this perspective. Thus, their conclusion was also aligned.
Well, even if they see us as bait, we have no reason to play along.
Indeed. Let's eliminate them and draw out any hidden enemies.
Ultimately, winning would solve everything. With a mutual understanding of the threat of surprise attacks, Hinata and her group reached their destination. Moss had disappeared, leaving 4 people.
Nikolaus, stay here. If we win, capture Prince Elric immediately.
Hinata didn't say it, but it also meant for him to flee if they lost. Nikolaus wasn't weak, but he wasn't strong enough for this battlefield. That's why she gave this order.
Understood. I wish you success.
Nikolaus didn't want to be a burden. Though he was ready to sacrifice himself to protect Hinata, he quietly followed orders. Thus, Hinata and her group, now just 3, moved into the square. Upon arriving, they were confronted by a group of heavily armed knights. Excluding Elric and Reiner, there were nearly 20 of them.
Finally, you've shown up. I was getting bored.
It was Reiner, familiar to Hinata, who sneered and called out. A quick glance told her he had grown significantly stronger. Judging by the energy radiating from him, Hinata estimated it was more than her own.
Leaving Nikolaus behind was the right call. In a real fight, I wouldn't be able to protect him.
Had Nikolaus been there, he would have been in grave danger. As an ordinary human, he wouldn't have survived, so Hinata felt slightly relieved. Ignoring Reiner's taunts, she assessed the enemy's strength.
Elric seems to be just a regular human without any significant power, but the others.
Elric appeared unchanged, playing the role of a figurehead. He looked a bit worn, likely from his house arrest. The others, however, were concerning.
There's something unusual about them. They seem stronger than the Holy Knight captains. They might even match me.
Though it was hard to be certain just by observing, Hinata's unique skill, mathematician, helped her analyze them. They were at least Calamity class, with some like Louis and Roy possibly being Disaster class. Facing nearly 20 such opponents would be a challenge even for Saint Hinata. But the biggest threat was Reiner.
Reiner has lost his mind. He might even be stronger than me.
Though not as powerful as Testarossa beside her, Reiner exuded immense strength. This worried Hinata, making her more cautious. Leaving the fight to Testarossa would be safest, but another dangerous presence complicated things.
Reiner, we got lucky. With these 2 beauties here, no need for us to fight. Absolutely. Brother Vega, as promised, I'll take Hinata. Is that okay?
Sure. Taking down such a weak woman won't make me any stronger. She might have other uses, but I'm on a mission now.
The man laughing crudely was Vega. He sat on the fountain's edge, legs wide, emitting a terrifying aura openly. Despite absorbing a light attribute angel, Vega's essence was pure evil.
I can't handle him. I might hold out for a bit, but winning is nearly impossible.
Hinata quickly realized this. Vega's power was over 10 million, 10 times Hinata's. Even with her hidden tricks, victory seemed unlikely. Therefore, only Testarossa could face Vega. Hinata would inevitably face Reiner.
You're disgusting. I detest fools who don't know their place.
Testarossa smiled seductively, glaring down at Vega. Her confidence was reassuring to Hinata.
Arrogant wench. Fine, I, the great leader of the 7 angels of death, will show you what I'm capable of.
Easily provoked, Vega accepted the challenge. The fight between Testarossa and Vega was set. The momentum made escape impossible. With a calm demeanor, Hinata asked,
So, who among you will face me? I can't move with all those eyes on me. Are you all planning to take me on?
Hinata aimed to provoke them into a one-on-one duel with Reiner. Facing all of them simultaneously would leave her with slim chances of survival. Even if she and Cian combined their efforts, they could only take down around 10 foes at best. But if she could eliminate Reiner first, it would demoralize the remaining adversaries. That would weaken their resolve, significantly increasing her chances of victory. Hinata was confident that Reiner would have no option but to accept the challenge. Scattered across the capital were magical devices linked to underground shelters, allowing people to see what was happening above ground. One such device was the statue in the main square's fountain, broadcasting her and Reiner's confrontation to the citizens. Elric was aware of this, using it to grandstand, and Reiner undoubtedly knew it too. If he fled, he'd never clear their name. Hinata knew he would think this. Her gamble paid off.
You've underestimated me. I was in a bad state back then. I'll prove my worth by defeating you now.
And so, the duel between Hinata and Reiner commenced. Hinata drew her sword, a gift from Rimuru. It wasn't just any rapier, it was a legendary grade weapon, upgraded from its original unique status due to Karabe's enhanced craftsmanship. The sword, named Phantom Pain, was slightly inferior to the Moonlight Saber in terms of sheer quality. However, it could replicate the dead-end rainbow technique flawlessly. Unlike the Moonlight Saber, which could obliterate a spiritual body on the 7th strike, Phantom Pain could destroy even an astral body.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel.